Welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We are your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is May 19th, 2017. It is a Friday. This is actually huge. We have been telling you guys for months that the deep state is coming after Trump. It is official. They are seriously doing it. They are going to take him down. They are going to try to do a hard coup and delegitimize Trump's presidency and take him out. Pull him from office.
These are my angry eyes.
They don't look angry.
Have you ever seen Toy Story? I'm getting out my angry eyes!
Okay. On Mrs. Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head.
These are my angry eyes.
I'm furious at this.
Because you must have sparkles when you're angry. So listen,
oh my gosh.
I told Beanick Patriot Gallery, I said, listen, it's there. The deep state and the lefty people are making it impossible for us to hold Trump accountable for anything because now it's survival mode.
Yes.
We just want to keep him there because we realize that the left, CNN, the mainstream media, they want to skewer him. They want to put his head on a pike.
They
want everyone to know
he was elected.
They are going to use him as an example. If you come against the deep state, we will ruin you. We will attack your every move.
The last president that came against the deep state in a hard line was John F. Kennedy. We know what happened to him.
Ronald Reagan spoke out about it, and
You're right.
And he was shot too.
You're right.
But hard line. So here's the thing. You've got Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, and I want to play his interview with Lou Dobbs here because he spells it out. He's like, listen, you guys, and there's another article I have for you which says, this is not a war on Donald Trump.
No.
This is a war on you.
The American people
all
that elected him.
of us. This is not about Donald Trump anymore. If it was ever about Donald Trump, it was never about Donald Trump. It was never about Russia.
At this point, he's pretty much a mascot.
Right.
That represents
they are angry at us. The whole
people.
Onward Together movement. The
alternative media.
All the alternative. Whether you're progressive on the left, if you're an alternative media, if you speak out for truth, if you talk about Syria, if you do anything that is against the deep state,
they are against you.
The Bernie Sanders people, they hate you. They want to kill you. They want you gone. They want you to shut up. You're going to get back in line. You're going to sit there in front of your
CNN and ABC
and you're going to listen
to NBC.
And you're going to listen and you're going to do what we tell you to do.
Right.
I mean, they are telling us this stuff in their articles.
Yes.
They're saying us, we, the public media, the civilian media, the alternative media, they need to go away because they're undisclosed biases. The whole mainstream media is about money and corporatism and
But I kind of keep going back to like that speech in Independence Day. We will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. You know, that sort of thing.
And see, here's the thing. The people elected Donald Trump. And they were like, fine, here we go. We're just going to...
They thought that he would be able to be a puppet. They really did.
No, well, actually, the people who voted
for him.
I'm
sorry. I thought you meant like, at some point they did, they were like, you know what, maybe, I think a lot of people thought we could control this guy.
Right.
And then he's becoming uncontrollable.
What I meant was,
I'm sorry, I was thinking
people who said, okay, that's great, Donald Trump is president, we're just going to go on and we're going to go on with our lives. They didn't realize that
this is a fight. You just got in it. Let's hear what this lieutenant has to say.
Let's start with this, what appears to be a memo to file by the FBI director that conveys a one-person view of what happened in a conversation with at least one other person, the president. What do you make of this?
Well, further than that, Lou, let me read to you the article from MSNBC saying, neither NBC News nor The Times has seen the actual memo. Think about that. They're reporting that someone whispered to them about a memo that may or may not exist in somebody's file at the FBI. This is truly deep state, and you have collusion. I mean...
I'm going to pause this right here because actually I realized that I didn't bring to you the story. I just told you the deep state is after
Those
Donald
of you that
Trump.
don't know, because...
So if you haven't heard, the New York Times posted this explosive interview. Okay, so Seth Rich dies, right? And then an hour later, the Washington Post comes out with this bogus story, and that's been kind of debunked. But since that was debunked so quickly,
the New York Times came out.
And the new thing is that Comey,
Donald Trump asked Comey to
back off
the investigation against Flynn.
But here's the thing. what is said is that Comey wrote it down in a memo, his things, and another person in the FBI read the memo,
Right.
and then that person told the New York Times. This is the worst hearsay.
It's telephone with a tin can and a string, guys.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's not. This is made up. This is. You can tell when you have things like this. This is totally fake and false.
This
To create
passes for
sensation.
reporting. This is beyond insane. And Lou, what you
This
said
is beyond conspiracy theory stuff.
here, walking up to it, I think illustrates clearly what the issue is regarding the president. The president did actually ask Mr. Comey to do something, and that thing he asked him to do was do your job, investigate the leaks. And instead of doing that and being asked by Trey Gowdy the same thing, expressing no interest at all in actually doing his job to investigate leaks, which, by the way, did compromise techniques and procedures of how we do collection. It was an arrogance about him that said, basically, I can pick and choose what I want to do. So this is another example of that, where you have people, and by the way, Lou, just between you and me, if you
And the rest
had
of
something to
everybody
say
else.
about someone, I don't think you'd be trying to go through your staff to say it. I think if you felt a certain way, you would tell that person. Why do we believe that James Comey would want this leaked out? I think that this is something being done by those in the deep state to upset everything that's going on, and like you said, try to undermine the president in every breath.
And why, if James Comey wanted it leaked, why did he hide it and hang on to it? Because if he hid it and hung on to it, so it's either true and Comey is in even deeper doo-doo than he's already in.
Doo-doo.
Big doo-doo.
Like elephant doo-doo.
Yeah, like big pile. Or it's
Rhinoceros
fake news.
doo-doo.
Now, I would love to believe that Comey's in more trouble than he already is, but it's probably just fake news.
You know, and there is within this, I've been very critical of the White House communications team, and I think fairly and appropriately. I have to say that the White House is sitting there.
Yeah.
That communications team has barely raised its head, let alone its voice collectively, to defend the president, to defend, I mean, I don't understand what they're doing for this president right now. Do you?
No, I don't. And this is where I think the criticism is apt by the fact that, first off, yesterday, I don't know what they were doing regarding the messaging regarding H.R. McMaster and that whole thing. And let's be clear on this. The president, for better or for worse, is the ultimate classification or declassification authority. He can talk to anybody about anything, no matter what the level is.
Right.
And beyond that, I understand that things were instantly twisted by the National Security Council staff and leaked, obviously, to the Post.
So what I heard, the word on the street with my ear on the sidewalk, is that Dina Powell, who is the Deputy National Security Advisor, who is actually friends, I believe, with a reporter who trumpeted Hillary Clinton. She's leaking all of these like a really bad ship. She is a bad hombre.
And there was a very delayed, very muted response where they should have been right up there outlining the facts right up front about how this is completely false. So I think they, like you point out, the White House communication staff has to believe they are now in a state of war. This is war. It's called information operations, information warfare, and clearly the other side, the deep state and the Clinton folks, and I have to say some folks on the Republican side are all lining up. The battle lines are drawn. And it's time for people to understand how to deal with this as if like it's a war.
Yeah, and that's why I made reference to the war room.
Right.
This president famously called Jeb Bush low energy, and with that branded a person who you know, so effectively. But the fact is, this is a low energy communications department, and it needs.
So all the people around Trump, he thought he would get into his presidency and just everything would just keep flowing.
Right.
But what happened is that he doesn't recognize really that the people that really got him elected were us, like the people. Even though as you know, we voted third party and everything like that, but we really wanted Trump to win. You know, philosophically, we voted third party. However, we really wanted Trump to win, and we back and support him. We are still backing and supporting him. We were excited to have him inaugurated. We're excited to see what he's doing. He's anti-deep state. He's trying to go after the criminals. He recognizes the threat with radical Islamic terror. He recognizes the threat with open borders. He wants America to be great again. He wants to bring jobs back to America. These are all these great things that he said
let
he
me
does.
play devil's advocate for one moment here. I was taking my uncle to the gym today, and I was in the car, and I was kind of keeping him up on all this stuff. And I just said to him, I said, listen, they're coming after Trump. It is war. They're going to try to take him down and hang him. They're just going to try to hang. They are.
Right.
They are full-fledged, all chips in attempt to do this.
Yeah.
And I said to my uncle, I said, you know what? In all honesty, he brought this on himself. Because when we were out there screaming, do not put these people in your cabinet. Do not bring these people into your inner circle. They are evil. They will turn their backs on you. They will stab you in the back. And the American people are screaming, get these people out. Keep Flynn. Okay, things like that. Steve Bannon has been set in a corner and told to shut up. We're like, get Bannon out of that corner and keep him right by your ear. These are the things that the American people are telling Donald Trump. And instead, he is allowing himself to be misguided and led astray by these people that we knew were going to turn on him. And he chose them instead out of, I don't know.
We're going to have a little bit of a disagreement here on Resistance Chicks, and we're going to bring you both sides. I am not upset with Donald Trump, and this is the reason why. When you get into Washington, there's only so many people who know how to operate the machine.
Okay.
Okay?
I give you
and
that.
so he trusted, like, these people that came up to him, okay, here's this guy, Reince Pre-Reince, here's Sean Spicer, and he wanted generals, and he believed in our military.
Right.
So he thought he could get these generals, Rex Tillerson, general, Mad Dog Mattis, and
But he got rid of, or allowed them to get rid of.
Well, they forced Flynn out. He had to
Right.
leave because he still has these ties to Russia, and he had these Turkish ties, right? And
Well, he didn't have to bring Kushner.
Right. Well, Kushner, and
He doesn't know how to run a ship.
But here's the thing. I understand. Like, see, this is the thing. I understand him bringing in his daughter and Kushner because those are the people that he trusts. Okay. And so while when I was listening to Roger Stone, it's not that. In the beginning, I could say, hey, it was Kushner, and he's working with the globalists. Kushner is trying to work within the machine to help Donald Trump keep things going. And so what you're seeing here. Don't get mad at Donald Trump.
I'm not mad.
Don't
All
get
I
upset
said
at Donald
was,
Trump.
I feel like in part, he has brought this on himself because he wasn't able to hear the voice of us, the American people, saying, stop it.
But here's
get
the thing.
rid of these people.
It's not so much stop it, get rid of it, but who do you replace them with? I don't know people in Washington, okay?
Right.
Does he know people in Washington? He tried to run it like a business. And here's the thing, he tried to get, he on the short list for FBI director was Trey Gowdy, and he turned it down. I
Right.
watched him on, he turned
Right.
it down.
Right.
So all the people that we say, hey, why don't you get Chavez? Why don't you get some Ted Cruz? Why don't you get Trey Gowdy? Why don't you get a lot of these people in that we know? They don't want to be part of the Trump administration.
So actually, on one hand, I do have to agree with Leah. Pretty much everybody in Washington is corrupt. So who would Trump replace?
That's the point. Who do you get? You have to get people who are out of the Beltway. And the one person he brought in was Sheriff Clark, I believe.
Yeah.
And you have to bring these fringe people in, and it's misfits. He needs a team of misfits.
Right.
People who aren't career, and how do you get them? How do you know them? Well, he brought in the Secretary of Education lady. She was a business person, and I'm not real big on billionaires, but she's not a politician, so I'm cool, right?
Right.
So, but you have all of these politicians who, as our famous guy in Kentucky,
Thomas Massey.
He would say, we heard him speak, and he said, listen, there's very few in there that aren't bought and sold.
You're right.
So what are we left with?
Okay,
what are we left with? I'm
will go
saying
with you that far.
pray.
Yeah.
Pray that the right people get raised up, because the people who know how to run the system. See, the system, I'm actually very excited about this, because Donald Trump keeps throwing the wrenches in the systems,
Yes, he does.
in the deep state systems, and everybody is screaming on the right and on the left,
Right.
because they're
happy and they're comfortable.
the right and the left are the same machine. They go, and then we have these election cycles, right? And so we vote Republican. We think things are going to change. So then they vote Democrat. They think things are going to change.
When you play chess and when you play checkers, you get either black and white or black and red. You have two different colors. The only way to play that game is to have the two different colors. Unfortunately, we're in a game and you have to pick a color, and we're saying throw all the pieces out.
And here's the thing. I think this is great for us to talk it through for you guys. guys, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think you'll agree with me in that Donald Trump was a businessman and a multimillionaire, and he became quote unquote successful, but he had a lot of ideals. I mean, all of his tweets, he tweeted out, you know, he's going to go to see Saudi Arabia, but he's tweeted out, you know, we need to get off the petrodollar, and
right.
Saudi Arabia is our enemy, and they throw gays off a building. These are his own tweets, right?
Yep.
So Donald Trump has a set of ideals, and what happened, and why did we change? Why did we turn literally an about face on Donald Trump and start becoming not just the biggest voice like, hello, Republicans, don't vote him in, to, hello, everyone, we have to keep pushing him forward. Like, we are on the, like, we're 180, and why? Because I saw Donald Trump start to listen to the people, okay? And he has a lot of anti-deep state notions, and I knew, and I could tell, as he was going against Hillary Clinton, he was going to shake it up.
Yeah.
And that's what we needed, and that's what we need is a shake up.
Yep.
Okay? And as we're shaking it up, I think he's working it out. The one thing I would encourage him to do is to get in people. I don't want polished people in there.
No.
I don't want people who know how to work the system. Like, you know, well, you know that's illegal, or you know, there's so many laws in America.
There's too many
laws.
laws.
There's too many laws. Oh, they should know this. That we don't need career politicians in there. Well, we need people to advise him. There ain't nobody that can advise him in the position that he's in right now.
Right.
We just gotta let this ship sail. Seriously, right now, we were working hard on keeping him in line on Syria.
Mm-hmm.
And keeping him on line and all these different things. It's kind of like this. All y'all people just go away. It's going to be the people and Trump for a while, okay?
Right.
And we will tweet out to him, and we'll do Facebook, and we'll say, Donald Trump, this is what we want you to do.
Yeah.
We're the people.
Voting via Twitter.
Don't you represent us? Listen to us, you know? And he does, and he listens to the people. When he listens to the people, he's doing great.
Right.
He needs to bring in some solid, like, people who are backing and supporting him instead of their own agenda. And I don't know where you can find these people, okay? Maybe submit your resume. And what I did hear was that a lot of pro-Trump, like staffers and things like that, they're going to be laid off soon. All right, so we want to wrap this one up. I'm going to take...
Leah has so many more links on this. You have to watch them all. You're required. There's a lot more to come. What are you going to bring up next?
FBI Director James Comey testified under oath on May 3rd that the Trump administration doesn't obstruct investigations.
So that's huge. So we're going to bring that back to you in just 1 minute. So this is Leah Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it is not a conspiracy theory. If it's
this
the
is
truth,
not a conspiracy theory, you guys.
Don't forget to like, comment, and
This is
subscribe. Share these on your most easy for you to say social media pages. We love you. God loves you, and God bless.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't want to throw people.
Call